Hello everyone, it's the Manga Stand here. This is a channel where we sit around and talk about manga and anime. So right now our discussion of the day is to kind of talk about the consequences of watching anime and manga illegally and being able to support it. So I'm just going to give an example right here of what happens when you don't support manga. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper went on to its 5th volume, terrific series. I believe it's a Korean manga, but what happened is it literally ended in a backstory. Yes, this series ended in a backstory. It was going back, explaining a backstory, and final volume. So that's kind of the things that happen if you don't support these series. And a lot of the big series don't have any risk of that, but a lot of these small series are very, very well written stories, and sometimes better than the bigger stories, but they just don't have the audience, and they don't get advertised enough, and it's kind of a shame. But a lot of these series are terrific stories, and I would really recommend them to everyone. So this video is kind of to show my support of the industry and to maybe encourage other people to start supporting the industry. I know many can't afford it. I'm a sinner of watching illegally too and reading illegally, but when I can, I fork out some of my savings to support the industry and hopefully to make it continue to grow. So my first volume here, Jojo Volume 2 of Part 1. So this is Part 1, Phantom Blood of Jojo. Basically, the series is only 3 volumes long, which is why I picked it up. I was going to pick up a different part of JoJo, but then I was looking at the section, I realized it was only 3 volumes, so I already had the first volume, and so I was like, okay, gotta really finish the series, really love it. I really want to have one part of JoJo done. Right now there is 8 parts, only I think 2 or 3 parts are finished in English. So there you go. It's a fantastic read. I would recommend it to just about anyone. If you just want to watch the anime too, it's on Crunchyroll. And even if you don't like the first part, there's a bunch of different parts with their own style. So I recommend maybe, if you don't like the first part, maybe go to the 3rd part, because that's a lot different, and a lot of people, that's their favorite. And try at that. It's basically, it's really hard to explain JoJo, so I'll just let people watch it. Now the next book. Basically, I love this series, very popular series, Assassination Classroom. Basically, I bought this series because it was a rainbow volume. If anyone doesn't know, Assassination Classroom has always been about different colored volumes. I have it on the top kind of corner there, if you see. It's different colors, kind of a rainbow. But I couldn't resist a rainbow colored volume. I think in one of his volumes, he talked about his decisions about the colors and how different colors sold differently. And well, the rainbow, definitely bought it. It's rainbow. Come on. And so I skipped to volume 8 and 9. Volume 9 wasn't there. I probably would have bought 8 and 9. But volume 10 was rainbow, and I was like, hell yeah. And basically, just to summarize this is a series about basically a classroom of kids trying to kill their teacher. It's kind of meant for middle school audiences, I'd say, because it's a middle school class, and it has some middle school values and morals about growing up. But it also has some dark moments about death and the final stages of life and how we accept it. So moving on, I could not resist this next book when I saw it in chapters because it's Ubu Blatt. Ubu Blatt is basically the next Berserk, I would say, except it's not popular, doesn't have an anime, even with 17 volumes. Of course, Berserk doesn't have an anime because of its dark content, but if anyone is, on a Berserk hiatus, because Berserk has a lot of hiatuses and it doesn't continue, I recommend Ubu Blatt. I'm pretty sure it is currently continuing, and it is a really good series, very, very fantasy-based. Basically, the story starts off with the main character being dead by his comrades. He resurrects 20 years later. He's out for revenge, but there's also a bit of like demon lore that was kind of defeated, may come back. I'm not super far into the series. And then there is kind of like all these wars going on, and the traders, the hero traders that traded him have now expanded their influences and have this huge colonies, and of course all these colonies have all these abuses going on, like rape and suicide, the oppressive nations. And so very interesting. Not as horrific as Berserk, but there is some pretty crazy moments and some pretty demonic parts. So, now on to the series that are new to me. I have 2 series here that are brand new. Brand new to me, not necessarily brand new. This one is brand new in English. Black Clover. I was so happy to see this. I was so excited because I heard so many good things about it. I heard about it from people just saying it was like Naruto, so I was very curious about it. Don't know a thing about it. This is one of the ones I wanted to read online, illegally, and no shame in that. Like, I do it. That's not what this video is about. The video is about is when you can afford it, go try to spend some of your hard-earned cash on it. And so yeah, I picked it up. I don't know anything else to say about it because I don't know anything about it. But I was so glad to see it in English. And my final book is Vinland Saga. I heard a bunch of good things about this one, and so that's why I picked it up. I just from the look of it, looks like to have a fantasy, maybe berserkish feel, but without demons. I'm assuming, just from the look, maybe a bit of a medieval anime. Looks pretty dark, looks pretty gory. Some scenes. So just a nice a war series. Maybe Vikings, it looks like. I have no idea. I'm coming with this blind. So again, not trying to make people feel guilty for reading online. I do it all the time. Just for when you can afford, when you have the funds for it, at least try to afford manga and anime, because without that, that's kind of when unpopular series that don't get attention, kind of get bumped, and it really sucks for all of us when it happens. And then some people question why this happens. Well, it happens because everyone's watching this series illegally. And there's shows that would have probably been longer, probably would have been produced more, bigger budgets, but because everyone's reading online. And there's some people I know out there that literally read online, and they probably read online more than me and have bought nothing for it. And I just want to say, just please support your manga, please support your anime, please buy something, even the little money you have. If you're going to read these, at least try to buy them eventually. And so that was my discussion. Not trying to sign pompous or anything. I do it too. Yeah, this was the manga stand year. I hope you liked my discussion, my video. I'm going to make more videos about this every time I buy some new manga. Hopefully it's every week. But again, I don't really necessarily have that many funds at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. So please, this is a new channel. Please like and subscribe and comment about anything that you like that I had to say. And see you out.